Hey everyone, Action here. Now today marks the first playthrough in patch 4.0. I just want to thank you all for the 1000 commanders that are now enlisted in our great navy. Yeah, I almost can't believe we have grown so fast, it's amazing. And I'm sorry if my voice is a little weird today, I had to wake up at 4 AM to record this for you guys, so it is up and ready at the expected time. Now the Ornament Republic is all about food, as it is with every single bioempire in this patch. So for our civics, we're gonna have the catalytic processing, which replaces the metallurgist and artisan mineral upkeep with food. And this actually improves our efficiency because we'll be using our minerals only to construct new buildings and districts and not consumed by those jobs. Our other civic is gonna be the brand new crowdsourcing civic, which is basically parliamentary system, but instead of providing you with unity, it provides you with research. And I tested it a little bit, like 5 years into the game, and it is completely busted, it's so broken. For our authority, we're gonna have the Oligarchic, which increases our effective counselor skill +2 and also gives us a little bit of counselor EXP gain. You could also go with democratic because it will increase our faction approval and in turn increase the output from crowdsourcing as well. But we're gonna stick with oligarchic for this run. So for our ethics, we're gonna have xenophobic because it will increase our pop assembly or growth speed and also reduce the starbase influence cost. And since we're gonna go with the bio crisis, the brand new crisis, we are definitely gonna need all the influence we can get to hatch more dragons. We are also gonna have egalitarian to increase our faction resource output and also the specialist resource output. We're gonna be spiritualist so we get an extra unity boost and finish our traditions quicker and in turn ascending faster. Now for our origin, we're gonna have the overtune origin, which basically gives us access to the overtune traits, which are very OP. We're gonna have the fleeting excellence, which is basically the auto-modding trait for overtune. So depending on our pop jobs, we're gonna have the adequate trait to improve their output, and in turn it reduces our leader lifespan by 20 years. We're also gonna have the pre-planned growth, which increases our pop growth by 30% at the cost of 30 years of leader lifespan. Now this already gives us minus 50 years lifespan, but we're gonna offset this a little bit with enduring, which will grant us a plus 20 years. So in total we're gonna have only minus 30, which is actually quite high though. And our last positive trait is gonna be egg laying, because the ornaments here, they're all about putting in legs and rapidly reproducing to take control of the whole galaxy. Now this is a new trait and it is kinda rapid breeders, but with the exception that we gain a plus 15% pop growth speed whilst we have a food or mineral production surplus, which is very easy to do since we are gonna focus everything on food production. For our negatives, we're gonna have unruly because it's a free pick still, and sedentary. Sedentary got a little buff. It actually used to reduce our pop resettlement chance by minus 100%, but now it only increases the resettlement cost. Our origin is gonna be overtuned. For our ship set, we're gonna have the brand new biological ship sets. And look at those claws, they're just gonna get in range of the mechanical ships and do some chops. Our ruler, the Purple Needle, is gonna have the Spark of Genius to increase our research speed a little bit. And yeah, I just love the new city and room sets, it's so fitting. Now for our settings, we're gonna go with the huge galaxy, and we're gonna test it out if patch 4.0 actually improved the game performance overall. You're gonna be going against all crises at 25 times the strength. I don't know if you're gonna beat it though, because it's our first playthrough in this patch and I don't know how the numbers are. But yeah, it's gonna be quite fun to test it out. And fleets now have a logistical upkeep, but we won't change it for now, maybe in future playthroughs though. And we can also select our precursors. I have selected the Baal just to see the full power of this build. And we can also finally reduce the Cosmic Storm devastation in a slider. I reduced it to 0.25 because I still want to have some negative effects from the Cosmic Storms. So let's get into it. Alright, we already started the game with a negative of 20 food, which you definitely want to fix since we have the egg laying. Now trade has changed a lot, we now have to use the trade stockpile to buy things instead of energy credits. So let's start by buying 40 food and let's sell 15 energy credits. And if you're enjoying this, join our navy and help us build something greater. High Command has called for 2,500 new commanders to be enlisted, and your skills and leadership are vital to our mission of defending the universe. The technologies also changed if you're gonna have the bio ship set. I think it's a nice little touch. Now the bio components are a little weaker than the regular mechanical ones, but it is fine. And since our tech is gonna be produced solely by factions in the early game, we're gonna have all the productivity bonuses, but not the research bonuses in the beginning. So we have a pretty good start. We already found our 2 habitable worlds. We're gonna go first for the Alpha Centauri because Alpha Centauri has a special anomaly that always spawns and gives us a little bit of unity. We're gonna go ahead and do our tip of changing the diplomatic stance to isolationist, giving us extra monthly unity. Our factions are now founded, and in the beginning they don't produce a lot. But within time, all of our pops are gonna be shifting towards one of these factions, and we can actually already start promoting the faction, which will increase the chances of getting more of them into this. Ideally, you want to promote the faction with the most approval, so we get the most productivity later on. Now, first we're gonna build another agriculture district, so we get more food production, which we definitely need to offset this planet deficit and get the pop growth from the egg-laying trait. We can already start building our colony ship to colonize the Alpha Centauri Prime, and also start sending up our new bioships to do some exploration for us. Now for our first tradition, we're gonna go with prosperity, because we want to have more early game power in our economy. Ooh, we already found some crystals here. We aren't strong enough to kill them now, so let's retreat. And we already found our first other AI empire. Now they are very close to us. I just hope they are friendly, so we don't have to build ships in the beginning of the game. And we already have a 50% pop growth in our planets. Oh, that's very good. So, remember we used to have these guys and they were hostile to us every single time. We can now pay some unity and they become a part of our fleet. So yeah, it's not very much, but it's still 3 bioships for free on top of a commander. Which is definitely much better than having an enemy. So back to the AI Empire, they seem to be a mammalian tundra preference. Alright, storm touched? So yeah, I think they're gonna have some cosmic attraction. And this is the brand new colonization UI. We can already start selecting our colony designation, but I don't know what this planet is gonna be, so let's just colonize it and choose it later. And the first ornament colony. Our colony is a testament to our higher purpose, giving us 500 unity, and our mining stations are now costing us food because we have the bio ship set, which is a nice little addition though. Cultist flagship transferred. We now become the owner of Dawn of Creation. So look at this, we already have a 1.7 thousand military power just from paying 100 unity. It has turned from a terrible event to one of the best early game events you can have. So with this military power we can already subjugate our nearby AI empires without even building a single ship. We already finished our first tradition in 4 years into the game, and our first Ascension perk will be One Vision to scale up our unity production, governing ethics attraction, which will in turn increase our faction output and give us more tech. We are already producing 94 research without even a single researcher lab. Look, we only have temples. Our tech already increased to 120. Just from increasing our government ethics attraction. Our best faction is producing almost 60 research. Our first colony has also been established, and with that we can already start producing our medical center, which increases our monthly organic pop growth and also our amenities. And since we have promoted the spiritualism, we gain a plus 100% spiritualist ethics attraction in this planet. And as for our second tradition, we're gonna have the statecraft to increase our councilors' levels. Oh, we found the ancient caretakers. I know that there is a high fallen empire that can appear now, so that should be interesting if we happen to find them. Now the main problem with our empire capital is that we have filled up all of the building slots and we have an unemployment. So I want to change the mixed industry for something like some archives again, which will increase our unity production. But this will definitely have us at a deficit of consumer goods and no other way of producing them. So what I think I will do instead is just shift this temple for a civilian industry and then shift this mixed industry for a spiritual enclave. Oh, so far the early game seems a lot stronger than in the previous patch, although that's my first impression, because we're currently already producing 180 tech without a single researcher job. So yeah, back then you'd need like, what, 4 research labs, 5 research labs maybe? But now we need 0, and we are also producing a very good amount of unity. We have established contact with the Lambda Menace. They don't like us very much, do they? Nope, they are suspicious already. We are building a spy network on the Xenoscum, United Miko Coalition. What? No, I clicked the wrong button. We have changed the archive specialization for the spiritual enclave. Ah, the UI tricked me here. So yeah, let's change the specialization of the District 2 instead. Alright. Yeah, now that should work. Also, for upgrading our star bases, it's gonna cost us food and a little bit of alloys instead of just alloys. And oh, our construction ship. Look at this dude. Alright, I like it. Seems like the Night of Toxic God, but bio version. Titanic Life. Study them, harvest them, and see if anything is useful. Farmers are converted into Titan Hunters. Let's see our Titan Hunters. One Titan Hunter, they produce trade? What? I think it's bugged actually. No, it's a good job. It produces food and trade. But here it just shows that it produces 0.2 trade. We have already expanded our council, and our next council position shall be the innovation coordinator. Let's grab a good scientist there. That's a tricky one. Because if we change the head of research, we're gonna lose research speed, but increase our base research production from factions. Yeah, let's go with the level 1 for now. Our factions are producing so much research, we are already at almost 200. And yeah, it's perhaps the best civic in the game right now. Now we should stop buying food from the market and start buying consumer goods now because of our consumer good deficit. Nope, that did not make things better. I think I'm gonna have to build a specialization in one of my colonies. Civilian industry in this one. And for the other one, let's get a heavy industry. So far we are producing 200 unity and 230 tech, and we are still at 10 years into the game, actually 13 years into the game, but it's very early, and we are almost finishing up our second tradition already. I just know the devs are gonna nerf it. Yeah, there is no way it stays like this. Yeah, just the gun batteries consumes alloys to build. I wonder why. They declare rivalry with us. Let's do the same, and let's insult them as well. Alright, we have finished the statecraft tradition, and biomorphosis is so good because we can pick it after our first ascension perk. Usually for ascensions we can pick it after the second, which greatly delays the ascension. But yeah. And now we have the biomorphosis situation. So in yesterday's video we managed to have the biomorphosis ascension perk already, and that started our situation. Now in the situation we can either focus on purity, cloning or mutation. For this run we're gonna test out the cloning, although all of them seem very interesting. The purity will basically means your pops are more productive, cloning is for the massive pop growth, and mutation is kind of an RNG based ascension. So first, in order to start the situation we need to build the genomic research facilities. And those facilities are actually very powerful because on top of the medical worker jobs, we are gonna have plus 400 pops optimized every single month. And considering that we are overtuned with the fleeting excellence, we have the auto modding trait actually gonna help us a lot. Now the situation already started, and since we're going for cloning, we gain a +1 monthly organic pop growth for every genomic researcher we have. So here on every planet we will have basically, what is the planet build queue? Oh, there it is. Alright, took me a while to find it. But yeah, it's gonna give us +2 medical worker jobs. And the medical workers are gonna be converted into genomic researchers. In our planet we already have a medical center, which is kinda different from what it used to be. I thought it was a little larger than that. And on Alpha Centauri Prime we also have the medical center. So the medical center will actually give us the different kind of job instead of medical workers, which is very nice, since it will increase our monthly pop assembly. And here we can already start building up our alloy foundries. Now the devs said that they have increased the amount of anomalies we can have in the early game, and we can actually just see how many we got. So there are 3 here, and I think we have researched 4, so a total of 7 anomalies already in the game. So the situation is also gonna affect our traditions later on, because if we look at this, all of our ascensions will have the flexible traditions, and depending on our first decision, it's gonna set our flexible tradition, in this case to genomic growth, giving all of these benefits. However, if we went to purity, we would gain instead those traits right here. Now, yeah, I think this one would be a lot better than what we have here. I really think this is bugged though, because look at this, we have 4.7 thousand pops on this faction, and on the other one we have 1k. However, 1000 represents 5% and 4000 represents 94%. I don't think the math checks out here. Nope, and we have the clone dilemma. We can either give citizenship for all clones, which will grant us more pop growth speed, or they are second-class citizens at best. No, everyone is equal. And we could theoretically already start selecting our third tradition. However, we'll wait until the biomorphosis is close to completion so we can finish it up at the same time. One thing that I totally forgot to do. Okay, what is this? Alright, you can take one of our guys. We have so many clones either way. So back at what I was saying, one thing that I totally forgot was the Empire focus. Now the timeline is a huge thing in our Empire because we can have some very unique technologies. So for every tier on the Empire focus, we will gain these technologies in the physics research field, and at the end we'll have the jump drives. Now these technologies won't be fully given to you, it will just be the research option. However, here on Conquest, we can have the guaranteed research option for the existential campaigns, which basically is a Total War Casus Belli, but without even needing a Colossus. So yeah, it's pretty broken though. Or we could go for development and already unlock the Mega Engineering research option at tier 10. I think that development might be the way to go here. So let's go ahead and shift our focus to development instead of exploration, and that will cost us only 50 unity, but will have a more beneficial Empire focus for us. Identity crisis. Clones across our Empire are reporting struggles, grappling with their sense of self. This is common, get therapy, or they should seek fulfillment in their work. Now this option will give us 200 Liter XP at the cost of actually a lot of happiness for 5 years. And this one will increase our monthly unity and happiness. I think it's better for us to have the monthly unity at this point, so let's go with that one. And also it's probably the cooler option. Oh, we found the asteroid blast door. Now this is a huge archaeological site. If I remember correctly, it gives us a very large chunk of minor artifacts. And in this patch, if we reverse engineer the minor artifacts, we can actually get the rare Fallen Empire technologies that in the previous patch you could only acquire them through Cosmogenesis. I think this is also the case if we grab the Enigmatic Engineering Yeah, look, a small chance of drawing Fallen Empire building technologies. Now that's huge, man. So we can basically have enigmatic engineering and have all of these very OP buildings instead of locking ourselves up to the Cosmogenesis. This way we can actually have the Behemoth Fury, which is the crisis we're gonna have, and also have the Fallen Empire buildings. Yeah, it's very OP, very OP. Now we have our second flexible tradition to choose here. We can either have the heightened attributes, which will increase our job efficiency by 5% per medical building tier, which I believe there are, what, 3 tiers? And also plus 15% from genomic research facilities. Job efficiency is basically resource pop output in the previous patch, and it also reduced our empire size from pops by minus 10%. I'm more tempted to go this way, I'm not gonna lie. Now, focus on cloning will give us the same amount of job efficiency, but actually the genomic researchers will reduce crime. Not that good. And the third, focus on mutation, the same amount of productivity and leader EXP and lifespan gain. Yeah, purity is definitely a ton better here. However, it will change our situation approach to purity. I don't know if we'll be able to change it later on though. So since we're testing, I think we're gonna go with purity because it's by far the most OP out of the options. And I think that later on we could theoretically change it to cloning. I think we still have one more step after we finish this stage 2. And we can shift to cloning and finish up the tradition and get the Cloning Ascension. Now, one thing I already noticed is that we already have some leaders that are above our leader lifespan. So yeah, we are definitely gonna need to hire leaders with the resilient trait, because this way they won't die in an instant. And another Fallen Empire, wow. Out of all of the 1000 stars in our galaxy, we already found 2 Fallen Empires. Now this is very interesting. So the exotic gas refining, which in the previous patch granted us the jobs, now is only gonna increase the exotic gases our catalytic technicians and artisans produces, in essence increasing our pop efficiency. Our Minister of Defense was killed by an extremist? What? How did that happen? Well, we don't have any commanders with the resilient trait. I think I'm gonna wait until the time passes and the leader pool refreshes. And for our next biomorphosis situation, we can have plus 0.5 unity for every 100 unemployed pops and an extra stability, or authoritarian effects attraction and leader cap. Let's go with this one. How on earth do we have 17 stability here? What? Now we just shifted the amenities and it's now at 64. So in this patch you definitely don't wanna go low on amenities. Holy. Oh, we found the Lone Defender. And that's very good to have the Lone Defender because of the specimen it gives. However, I think it's gonna take a while until our battleships can get there. Yeah, 1.2 thousand days. But eventually we'll get there. Actually no, I just built a batch of our Mauler ships so they can get in range of the Lone Defender and do some chop-chops. Oh, Turian, the renowned Paragon, but he's a synthetic and increases the mechanical pop output. Yeah, we don't need you now. And now since the trade rework, we can actually build the trade hubs and gain 8 trade value. So basically now Bio Empires also have some sort of solar panels. I think it's even better than solar panels now, because you have to sell energy and get trade to buy other resources, which is not the case for us. We can just build the trade hubs and that's it. And yeah, just as I was saying before, after we finish the second stage of our situation, we can again shift our approach. So this time we'll choose the cloning one, and it will give us the regenerative cloning. Alright, leaders start with the backup clone trait, and leaders can periodically regain the backup trait. So every time our leaders die, we'll gain them again. So it's actually very good with overtuned, because we have a very low life expectancy. And since our leaders will die very quickly, but they will be reborn as clones. It has a very good synergy. I really think that factions are bugged though. Here we only have like 6 times less pop and we are only producing this amount of tech. And in the other faction we are producing almost 400 just from it. That's kinda ridiculous, man. Our Minister of Defense died of old age already. Our leaders don't have the backup trait already. We need to wait, I think, until we finish the cloning tradition. Our economy is completely bonkers at this point in the game. Look at how many resources we are making. And the alloys, yeah, they may seem low, but that's because we don't have a lot of pops working alloy jobs, only 4 pops, and we don't even spend alloys to build our ships anyway. Only 64 for the maulers and 120 for the weavers. Our head of research already died of old age as well. That's totally fine. At least now we finish up building some of our fleet of bioships and we can... Now let me have this unyielding leader. I think it's gonna give us more hull points. Let's start killing some things around the galaxy. And we finally finished the biomorphosis situation. We could either adapt the purity or the cloning tradition. And we couldn't adapt the mutation because in all of the options we never chose the mutation, but we chose the purity once. So that's why it's showing up here. So let's go with cloning. Arc furnace already researched, which is very nice. And let's see what we can get from here. Only 3. We still need 2 more to finish up the cloning tradition as a whole. But this way all of our leaders already have the backup clone. Fantastic. Oh, so the donation we gave to the Model 16 continuity paid off, plus 25% research from jobs. That's amazing. Although we don't have a single researcher right now, but yeah. And we are currently engaging in our very first battle in patch 4.0. Yeah, let me see how well those juveniles fared in battle. I think we're doing some damage. Let's see. Yeah, most of the damage was from combat mandibles, 5k. Very good. And let's defeat the other rock sitting nearby. Should be a swift victory again. Yeah, they just got completely stomped. So one thing that I'm noticing is that we have a very large surplus of basic resources, but when it comes to the strategic ones, it doesn't go very well. We already built our first exotic gas refineries, and our metallurgists are basically producing 2.5 exotic gases per month, which is kinda nice, increases our pop efficiency, and also build up some clone vats in our empire. And our plan right now, after we finish the Ascension, is to grab the Behemoth Fury. But that will require us to have at least 3 other Ascension perks, so we need to improve our Unity production a little more than that. However, our tech output is tremendously high. I really think it's bugged, because how can we be producing 600 tech just from factions alone, basically? Yeah, it is granted that we are producing some society tech from the genomic research facilities and also the medical centers, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. Oh, I know why it was a little thin. It's because it is a medical center, not a gene clinic. Ah, now I get it. Alright, so this will be a very important technology. Thankfully, we are already producing the exotic gases to upgrade all of our medical centers. And one thing I noticed is that our pop production is very high right now. If you look at this, all of these green text right here actually means our job efficiency bonuses. So although we only have 1800 pops working here, we are producing the equivalent of almost 2.3 thousand of them. I mean, I desperately need the specialization technologies, because our empire at this point is running low on building slots, I'm not gonna lie. Like being cut out from building civilian industries, like being cut out from building industrial districts really changed things up. Yeah. Oh, I see. I see now. Oh my god, I didn't realize this. So for every city district that we build, I think we're gonna have 100 artisan jobs. Because here it says that we gain 100 artisan per district. on top of the extra 600 artisans we have from the civilian industries buildings. So in total, we should have 700 jobs, if I'm right. Let's see. Exactly. We have 700 jobs available. Yeah, no, that makes things a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. So let's start building up some more city districts here. Yeah, I'm so dumb. But in my defense, we are all learning along the way. Thankfully, our weavers can already start growing to the second level. We have the support or the suppressor. I think the support is better, right? Because you're gonna scale up so hard that is actually gonna help us a lot. But what is the difference? I don't understand why we have the differentiation between support and suppressor. Well, I still don't know. If any of you guys know, please leave it in the comments down below so I can check it out later. Here we're gonna have the developmental pheromones, which basically means that this ship will grow at a rate of +1 every single month, and it's gonna take 120 months for it to reach maturity. So here in our shipyard we can already build the level 2 or just build the level 1 for a cheaper price and wait for it to grow. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We can only build 4 of them due to our poor alloy production. And we have finished the cloning tradition finally. And with that we can change our authority to replicating regency, which gives us +2 effective counselor skill, some little bit of counselor XP gain, and also unity from elites. On top of that, we have the backup clones and reduce degradation whilst on the council. Oh, that's not very good. The risk of cellular and cognitive decline increases with each successful clone. So yeah, due to our backup clones, we apparently can't have them at a very efficient rate for, let's say, indeterminate amount of time. They're gonna eventually become worse and worse until they are very bad, I guess. So let's see the other authorities. This one I don't understand. We have backup clones, and clone leaders cannot have backup clones. What? Does that mean that only people that we hire from outside? Alright, that's weird. But it reduces our empire size from pops by -15%. That's actually very nice. So yeah, basically all the other options goes along the same way of having backup clones, a little bit of bonuses to different things. And in the case of the Imperial Authority, the Imperial trait cannot increase in penalties, so our ruler will be efficient forever. So for our next Ascension perk, we're gonna test out the Enigmatic Engineering, which will grant us a small chance of drawing the Fallen Empire building technologies. I wanna test something out, so let's have the Society Research Specialization and see how many bonuses we can stack together. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is a very good leader, giving us more alloys, reduced upkeep, and also unity and happiness for our pops. Perfect governor for our alloy world. Oh, we finally have the food processing technology. This will grant us access to the agricultural district specialization, which is probably the most OP thing you can have in Biomorphosis Ascension. And for our 4th tradition, I think I'm gonna go with Harmony to increase our leader lifespan, reduce our empire size from pops. I don't know why it shows 5 times the pop demotion, alright. Crime, stability, and edicts fund is overall a very nice tradition to have. And our Maulers will become mature in the next month. No, not Mauler Weavers, I'm sorry. Let's see them growing. Oh, those ones grew. Yeah, there we go. Now, one thing I'm not understanding here is this. So we can have up to +2 engineering research from our engineers. However, I can't upgrade this building here. I don't know what the prerequisite is, so we can upgrade it, but it's bugging me out. Like, I thought we could actually just upgrade the Xenobiological Lab to give us more society research, but apparently it doesn't work like this. Maybe there is some prerequisite that I'm missing out. But yeah, so far we already have almost 1,500 research, a very good amount of unity production, food output is also massive. And basically our economy is stabilized at this point, only a slight deficit in consumer goods. And yeah, I think that overall this patch is very strong. There is just some interactions that I think that are quite buggy, especially the factions, because this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We already finished up the cloning tradition, and now our next step is to have the Behemoth Fury Crisis Path. Now this is the crisis path that comes along with the Biogenesis DLC, and I know that the devs are currently fixing a lot of bugs regarding this path, so I just hope that it doesn't crash whilst we are playing it, because that would be very unfortunate. So in order to have it, we need another Ascension perk slot, so we must finish the Harmony tradition ASAP. Unfortunately, we don't have many building slots available to improve our Unity output using our priests. However, we can actually just start replacing some generator districts with actual city districts, which will improve our priest jobs by 200, because we have 2 dedicated zones. And since last patch I think it has been fixed, we can now upgrade our tech buildings again. I think the last video you couldn't do it, although we had exactly the same planetary layout. Yeah, precisely, the same thing happened to our engineering world. One thing we can start doing though is terraforming the nearby worlds. The terraforming tab has moved to the management, and it's gonna take quite a while, 3600 days to finish. However, we can activate the exotic gases terraforming, and that would reduce the time cost by at least 1/3, right? Exactly. We also have our first arc furnace on our home system, and it actually costs food to level up instead of just alloys for regular bios. It's a nice little touch. And as you can see, the civilian fabricators now, instead of increasing the artisan jobs productivity, only give us more jobs. Whoa, Maniacal has received a lot of buffs, plus 5% research speed. It used to be plus 3, I think. Very nice buff. Now one thing you must do in patch 4.0 is build starbases. Now before, the trade hubs were actually garbage. They only give you 2 trade if you even had a special building. But now it gives you a base of 8 trade, which is already improved by any modifiers you have. And trade now is very important, because not only it affects your ship upkeep, since your fleet cost upkeep of trade, but also your planetary deficits contribute to a loss of trade. Here we are losing 72 from trade, and we are consuming 181 from our trade policy, which basically converts 1 trade into a half an energy credit. So here you can see, I don't know if it is intended, but 187 trade is giving us only 93 energy credits, which is a massive nerf to trade empires, since before it was basically a 1-on-1. Also, building up a research institute on all of our tech worlds is a must, because it increases the base research by 2, and the base research is actually multiplicative with any of the other modifiers you have. At least the orbital ring buildings improve our job efficiency a little. Here it increases our alloys from catalytic technicians by +1. So I have come up with a few ship designs here. We're gonna test it out. So for our maulers, which will be our main source of damage in the early game, we basically have the accelerated juvenile growth gland, and the juvenile and the mature maulers are gonna have this one, because our goal is to build the juvenile and wait for it to grow and mature until the elder stage, because at the elder stage we'll have 2 G slots, basically doubling our damage, which is much better than having at least like a mature stage mauler. It's not very strong. So we want to have the fastest growth possible from juvenile to elder. Paired with that, we have 2 weaver classes now. We have the growth and buff, which basically does what its name says. It grows and it buffs our ships. And we're also gonna have the debuff class, which is gonna debuff our enemies. Now the growth one has the exotic developmental pheromones, which increases the growth progress rate by +2 for its fleet. So ideally, we want to have at least one of these bad boys in every single one of our fleets. This way, all of our ships will mature much quicker. And the good part is, we can actually have just a juvenile one with this growth gland, and for the other stages, we can have a more effective one, such as the upgraded symbiotic amplifier, which increases our ship fire rate and weapons range. Now, I just noticed that the Mauler class have a very OP small weapon. Not just the Mauler, but I think it's more effective in them, because it's the Quill Battery. It has a base damage of 15 per day for the S-Lot. So yeah, it's very ridiculous damage here. It's basically, I think, the autocannon version for bioships. But the good part is the Maulers are all about getting close range and obliterating the enemy. So this gun right here is perfect for it. We're just not gonna have a specific design for the Harbinger yet, because we haven't unlocked the other stages. So here on our shipyard, we can already start building up a juvenile growth and buff to increase our growth speed, and also build up some juvenile maulers to build the backup of our fleet. Oh, this is such a huge change. Remember in the last patch when we needed to have the diplomacy tradition in order to form a federation? Now it has been moved over to a technology. So I wonder who is gonna pick diplomacy tradition now. And we're definitely not gonna form a federation with these suckers here. Yeah, they are pathetic in tech and trade, only equivalent in fleet, but we aren't even building one. We're just letting our ships grow a little bit. Oh, we have the psionic theory technology, that's fantastic. Although I think we don't have a single... yeah, we don't even have psionic pop, but I guess we are a spiritualist after all. And we have terraformed the Dylan planet. Now in the later patch, we didn't have the terraforming events, but now we do. Actually no, we did have some, but it wasn't very, unique. You could, I think, have like a building construction speed, something like that. But in this one, we're gonna have a volatile mode bonus to our pops, and also a base production of 1.6. Kinda good. It makes our planets a little more unique. So within 2 months, many of our juvenile maulers will be upgraded to the mature mauler, which is huge actually. Yeah, a very large jump in our fleet power. It was, I think, at 2.2k and now 3.2. Very nice. Oh, but the reload jammer, that's very good. It reduces the enemy ship weapons range and fire rate. Yeah, I think it's one of the best debuffers you can have, especially against the crisis, since having longer range is probably the most beneficial thing you can have. Our tech output is quite good at this point, 2k already, however, our engineering output is tremendously bad. So we need to improve here on our Sirius Prime world. I don't know why though, we have already 1.1 thousand engineerings, and we don't have anyone working as physicists. Only factions are producing a 700. Alright. So I guess we don't even need a physics world anyways. So here we have our option of changing our civic, and I think we're gonna go with exhausted priesthood after we have the unity. And the reason for that is we need to increase our unit output so we can finish the harmony tradition and have the Behemoth Fury Crisis Path. Now all the other options weren't very strong though, and one thing that I am very intrigued about is how can we see the base productivity for a priest. Like in the latest patch we could actually see that each priest produced, I think it was 4 unity, and after the modifiers it became like 8 unity, like an example. And now we can just see the total output for all of our priests combined. So yeah, I don't know how much unity they are producing from base. I can just remember that before it was 4. I definitely need some clarity here. For the first time in my life, I will set up a monthly trade to buy energy credits. Now what have we become, my friends? We are buying energy from the market. It feels so wrong. I don't know why. So here I was developing our first Harbinger class ships, and I just noticed that we have the crystalline growth regulators, which increases our strikecraft armor by +10. Now this is the first time this modifier appeared, which basically means our strikecraft are gonna be a lot tankier now. They only have 7 armor and 3 hull, but increasing it by 10, we basically double the resistance of our strikecraft. Now that's gonna be massive. Our other option would decrease our strikecraft cooldown by 10%, which basically means we can replenish their losses a little quicker. However, I think that making them a lot more resistant is gonna be better. Another feature we have for the bioships is that the armor components increases our hull points as well, and when we are under 50% armor, we gain a daily armor regen, so we don't need to go and retreat to a starbase to recover our armor. Although I think we do need to do it if we want to recover the hull points. So here on the Liza shipyard, we are gonna build just 2 of the Juveniles Harbingers, and later on we're gonna build the Growth Weaver to help them mature quicker. Oh, the Cloning Ancients wants to give us some basic resources, but thank you. We already have a very good production of all resources basically, you just want to increase our energy credits. But we're gonna fix that with the Dyson Swarms after we finish the Harmony Tradition. Oh, that's interesting, the Swarmer missiles can be placed in the G and M slots. Well, usually they were just M slot weapons for the regular ships. Now that's very interesting because we can just fill it up on our Maulers that have 2 G slots. Yeah, that's gonna be a little broken, I guess. And let's see our first Harbinger being upgraded. Wow, that was a big growth. And within 40 months it will reach the Elder stage. Let's build a couple more of them, I like these guys. Couple, no, 2 couples of Harbingers. This tech is also very good, it just flat out increases our job efficiency by +10%. In the latest patch it increased our job output, but also our job upkeep. And we have finally finished the Harmony Tradition, which means we can grab the Behemoth Fury.
Log updated.
This allows us to make progress towards the Crisis and already grant us a couple of benefits. So we already have more society research from farmers, we unlocked the Behemoth Egg megastructure, allows the accumulation of feral insights, and also have a plus 100,000 food storage capacity. Very nice. And you can see that the Crisis is very different from the other ones, which usually revolved around destruction, technological gains, but this one is basically just building more ships and killing space faunas. So it's all about those bio things, it's very fitting to be honest. And let's try to build our first Behemoth. Oh, it costs 50,000 food. We only have 20,000 now, so we need to wait a little bit. It's fine. Now the level 1 embryonic experimentation. We exist symbiotically with our biological vessels, yet something vital has always eluded us. Inspired by the greater Voidborns, we embark on our most ambitious endeavor, birthing the biggest of them all. This Behemoth will be something new, an apex lifeform crafted with purpose that blind evolution. Our spawn will eclipse the stars. So in the next video, we'll begin the construction of our first Behemoth and make progress towards our crisis levels. So far we have increased our tech, we are almost at 3000. I think if we just improved it a little more, we would reach it. And our bioships are already maturing as well, which is fantastic. So within only 18 months we should already have our first Elder Harbingers, and we'll start expanding our borders, cleaning out the space fauna and giving progress towards our crisis levels. So after we pick our Behemoth Fury Ascension, we unlocked the Crisis Path. Now this crisis is different from everything that we have in Stellaris, our main goal here is to produce food, which is a very underwhelming resource in the past, but now it is our main goal. So we unlock 4 basic perks that can be further expanded as we advance throughout our crisis levels. Now the first one just allows us to have the Pharaoh Insights by completing crisis objectives. The second one is gonna unlock the Behemoth Egg megastructure. Now this megastructure is gonna be the core of our empire because it will allow us to have the space dragons. Now it is kinda expensive, it costs 50,000 food on top of 300 influence. You can't spam this in the early game because of the food and influence cost, but later on to the game when you have more food production and also influence becomes kinda useless, you can actually spam these. The only problem is that they take 3600 days to build, so we definitely need to have some mega structure build speed modifiers. Now the other perks are gonna increase our society research from farmers, which is kinda nice considering that society is the main research for bioempires, and we're also gonna have more food storage capacity. Now you might be wondering, Action, how do I advance to Crisis Level 2? Well, you actually just need 2 things. The first one is accumulate 2000 Pharaoh Insights, and the Pharaoh Insights can be acquired by completing all of these objectives. Now, the one I am most tempted to try is to build biological ships, because you only need to build 50 ships and we already have 2000 Pharaoh Insights. And the second requirement is to build a Behemoth Egg megastructure. Now this one is gonna be more time consuming, since we're gonna have to wait at least 10 years until our Behemoth Egg is concluded. So we definitely need to increase our food production here. We are producing already 1.5 thousand, but our upkeep is tremendously high. So what I'm gonna do now is, since we have finished 4 traditions already, we don't need all that much unity. So we're gonna replace one spiritual enclave zone with actually a farming support zone that will greatly increase our farmer output. So after we build the farming support zone, 2 farmers in the previous patch, that is, would be producing 53 food. So a base production of 26 food for every farmer. So I'm talking about old patch, because yeah, it's pretty weird to say that 200 farmers produces 50 food. I'm still not used to it, I'm sorry. And what do you guys think about the current patch? Are you liking or not? Because it definitely is one of the most controversial patches ever released in Stellaris. Our food production already went up by 500, so we are gaining 1000 food every month, and within less than a year we should be able to build our first Behemoth Egg. Man, I think we're gonna have to go with Mercantile, because we are running low on energy credits, and it takes quite a lot. Like 1 energy credit cost us 2 trade, what is this? But the good part is we can already start building up our Behemoth Egg. Look at our little crab go. Just gonna produce a giant egg out of nowhere. Now that we started the production of our first Behemoth Egg, I'm gonna utilize our Harbingers to take away some space faunas, because by killing space fauna we actually gain some Pharaoh Insights as well. It feels very weird that the Harbingers don't move at all, they just sit there. Yeah, they have no animation. Like the Weavers at least, they like move their tail a little bit. So let's send them to kill those mining drones. Now the mining drones are gonna be so effective against us, because we basically only have armor and hull. The mining drones are especially designed to chew through armor and hull, but it didn't make such a difference, they're just being swarmed by our strike crafts. Yeah, not even stood a chance. Oh, that's interesting. So although we killed the space fauna, we didn't gain any points. Maybe the mining drones does not count as space fauna. That makes sense since they are drones, not bioships anyways. And we can already start developing our stingers, finally. However, we don't even have an X-Lot weapon still. So we just gotta stick with the mature line. For now at least. So we started the production of 50 molars, which will get us to the crisis level 2 as soon as we build the Behemoth egg. For our Minister of Defense, you're gonna grab the Intimidator, so you can grab more unity and build more Behemoth eggs. As a matter of fact, we already have the influence required to build another one. We just need to have more food. We have already built all of our 50 molars, so we already have the required 2000 Feral Insight points, and since our Behemoth egg is still on 68%, it means that our molars will grow before it is even finished. And we have reached the crisis level 2, self-actualization. We approach the pinnacle of evolution, and now we can hatch our Behemoth egg. We just need a little more food. Now that we have the food, let's hatch the egg. It's gonna take another 3600 days. Yeah, this process takes so much time. It is quite the opposite of the Become the Crisis path, which is all about the early game leads. Now this one is very much just late game stuff. Alright, but we already rolled the Mega Engineering tech, which is fantastic, because with this one we should theoretically have the Master Builders as soon as we finish the Mercantile. And the Master Builders are gonna increase our mega structure build speed. Oh, that's very interesting. So this dig site gives us a living metal mega construction edict base cost reduction. That's a very long sentence. That's very good, actually. And with this unity, we finish the Mercantile Tradition and can grab the Mega Engineering. Not Mega Engineering, the Master Builders, which is gonna increase the velocity in which we hatch our Behemoth eggs. So now that our Behemoth egg is still 1000 days away from being hatched, we can start the production of our first batch of Stingers. Now, I will build the juvenile ones and let them grow as always, but at this time we actually have the Axolot weapons, which is fantastic. And our first Behemoth egg has hatched, and now we have advanced to the crisis level 3 already. So our Behemoth has a growth progress of 0 out of 150, and right now we only have one ability, which is the Enrage. So at the crisis level 3 we increased our research in biology by 25%, we have a reduction to our ship alloy cost, basically our ships won't cost alloys anymore, and we also gain a little bit of armor hardening and extra hull points, which is very good. Now for the next level, the level 4, we need 18,000 Feral Insights and also completed the first Become the Crisis special project. Now the special project will only take 2 months to finish, which is quite low to be honest, but we are producing almost 3000 society research, so maybe that's why it's taking so little time. And there we have it, the Synaptic Symphony. The biological perfection comes at a high price. So this fulfilled that requirement. Now we only need to have 5000 more Feral Insights to achieve the next level. So that's something you have to keep in mind if you have behemoths. Our behemoth was kind of enraged and we didn't take care of it, and now it became hostile and is attacking our empire. Thankfully it only has a 28,000 fleet power at this point, so we can easily take care of it using our Harbinger fleet. So there we have it, our first encounter against the behemoth. The Maulers are gonna attack. Let's see their damage. Yeah, it's not looking very good, not gonna lie. I thought we would instantly kill it with that many Maulers, but no. Alright, we regained control of the behemoth, and our largest source of damage was the advanced fighter wing instead of the crystalline mandibles, which were our Mauler attacks. But now that we have defeated, it has become cold. Thankfully, actually, building biological ships will grant you 40 Feral Insights for every single ship size. So if we build like the Juvenile Stinger, which has a base ship size of 8, it will give us 320 Feral Insights. I mean, for real, our behemoth became aggressive again. Now this guy gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? So the Behemoth destroyed our colony? No. That ain't no way, man. What is this? He instantly destroyed our colony. So yeah, after the construction of our new fleet, we have achieved the level 4 in the crisis. Now here we can have the project The Mind Meld and Behemoth mutations. Hopefully this can have our Behemoth be friendly with us forever, because the way it is, it's very risky to have a Behemoth in the early game. Yeah, it completely destroyed our consumer good world. It's gonna take quite a while to recover from this. Now we can have our Behemoth mutations, making them fierce, increasing their fire rate and decreasing their armor, making them less hungry, decreasing the food upkeep, faster or deadlier, which will increase the weapon's range and accuracy. Now I think this one is much better, right? Now in order for us to achieve the level 5 in our crisis, we must have a class 3 behemoth. Now I don't know what that means, perhaps we can improve it by growing, I guess. So let's try and declare war on the pathetic United Mykonan coalition. And we can have them wipe them out. Alright, let's test the new war goals. So our behemoth become aggressive, and I will wait until it reaches our enemy colony and completely devour all of their pups. There it is, our big fella. That must be scary to see. Wait. Just like that. Alright. And we can now grow our behemoth to the next stage. We just need to have it inside our borders. Thankfully, after our behemoth destroyed our colony and we recolonized it, at least all of our buildings and districts are still available. We just lost the pups. And there are some slumbering kaijus. While at rest, these giants appear almost peaceful, but they are far from it and should be approached with caution. Do we have this one just because our behemoth attacked? Perhaps. So the behemoth is so large that it basically drops kaijus at their planet. Okay, that's interesting. Now let's grow and mature our behemoth. It became a crystal after we tried to grow it. Thankfully, it's only gonna take us kinda 1.5 years to finish. And our behemoth has reached the level 2. We exceed nature's limits once more. So it needs 300 progress and already has 112,000 fleet power. That's fantastic. We just sent our behemoth to attack their home system and they didn't even stood a chance. So let's enrage and have our behemoth to eat all of their pups. One is already down and it is calm now. We have killed some space fauna that was lying around. So we can actually grow our behemoth to the class 3 now. We just needed to retreat to our borders. And oh boy, I just wanna see the size of it. It already has 112k fleet power. Imagine at the maximum level. Now let's grow and mature our behemoth to the next stage. It's also gonna take only 1.5 years, but the crystals are much larger than the last time. For comparison, this is a mining station, and this is our behemoth. I know that Stellaris isn't very size realistic, but if we would consider that, it is larger than an entire star. And within 4 days, our behemoth will become at class 3. Let's see. Oh, what? What is this, man? It's basically half the solar system. 367,000 fleet power just from a single ship. Yeah, that is totally fine. Only 1 million hull and 1.5 million armor. Alright. So in order for us to reach the level 5 on the crisis and get our class 4 behemoth, we need 18,000 more Pharaoh insights. Therefore, if we wanna have 10 of these bad boys, we must improve our economy tremendously. Because look at how poor we are at the moment. We were actually making quite a lot of food, but then we increased our naval cap so much that our food consumption pretty much skyrocketed and we are now losing 700 per month. Our planets are also not able to field any more pops. They're pretty much at the limit with some exceptions. I'm trying to build more habitats, but yeah, it's not very easy to build habitats and also behemoths since both of them cost influences. And we just literally improved our naval cap and our economy is back up. Kind of though, but we are gaining more than 2000 food at this point, and we have also reached 300 influence, meaning we can afford another behemoth egg. Oh, they insulted us, but we are at war with them and we have a class 3 behemoth. So let's send our guy there to feed on their species. Whoa, this hyperlane jump. What is this? Now, can you actually imagine this creature in real life? Like, it literally has a maw that can chew planets. I don't want to live in this reality. Our big guy has reached their home system. Let's eat the planet. New Palab. It is preparing to eat. Alright. Chomp chomp. Isn't it delicious? Just 6,000 kilometers of rock. Yep, the planet is now gone. Are you satisfied, my guy? Or do you want some more? We can go here to the Beta Hydri system and eat another planet. And the good part is other species are receptive to us still, so it doesn't actually account like a Colossus, which if we crack a planet, everyone will start to hate us. But it is fine if we feed a whole planet to a behemoth, I guess. No, never mind, I just saw that cracking a planet actually has a minus 100 opinion with other empires. And those suckers wanna bully us again. This time we'll not. Well, to be honest, they asked for it, they insulted us, so yeah, we might as well eat their last planet. They only have 4 pops? Really? I don't think it's a very tasty world for you, my guy. I'm sorry for that. I wanna feed you the best food in existence. You are already at 2.1 million fleet power. Now this is something I haven't discovered yet, but apparently yesterday we had 350,000 military power from this same behemoth. But today, when I logged in, it had 1.9 million. So I don't know, maybe it grows passively whilst we are away. I'm just kidding. I don't know, it's maybe an update that the devs did. I don't know if it is intended to be that strong, but I'm glad it is. And people are now recalling their embassy because we killed one system. No. So since our goal is to build 10 behemoths and we also want to beat all the crises, I don't know if that's going to be possible though. We definitely want to establish a research federation as quickly as possible. So that's why I'm making friends with everyone in the galaxy to see if anyone likes us. But I just had to finish off those guys. They were so disgusting and they actually insulted us. Poor guardians of Zana. Yeah. Imagine being one of these ships and that creature right there is staring at you. Oh boy, that's a scary sight, holy. They're just going to head in, and goodbye. And we have enough influence to build another behemoth. Let's do that. Oh, we can't. Do we need to wait for the other one? No, we can, alright, thankfully. I think we can only build them in large enough planets. Since, well, the egg itself is pretty much the size of our moon, I guess. Or even larger than that. So I would bet you can't build one in an asteroid. So we have to research the Unity ambitions, and the ambition will to power actually grant us +5 influence per month. So although it costs a lot of Unity, I think it's very worth it so we can build our Behemoth eggs even further. Oh, we were doing just fine on our own. But then the pirates decide to appear, and oh boy, are the pirates stronger now. They even have a galleon. That should be no problem for our behemoth. So let's send our guy here to eat a little bit. Since he likes rocks, he should like those rock ships from the pirates. We already have 2 behemoth eggs hatching, and they will give birth to other little behemoths that will grow and conquer the galaxy. Goodbye, space pirates. You're just getting rammed by the space dragon. Ships flying everywhere. Let's build another behemoth egg somewhere else in the galaxy. Heal on Kuldax. And in the meantime, another one of our behemoth eggs has hatched, giving birth to a 100,000 fleet power behemoth. Now we can't use one behemoth to take care of the other if they become agitated, because one will eat the other. It's kinda insane. So thankfully I built some stingers that can take care of them. Yeah, just as expected, our behemoth went rogue, and what we can do is actually activate all of our edicts, because I think the behemoth won't get the effects, but our fleet will. Yeah, precisely. The behemoth stayed at 113, so let's see if the stingers are enough to take care of it. So far it's looking good, we haven't lost a single stinger, and yeah, very controlled, very easy win. The behemoth is now under our control once again. We'll start building another one of our behemoth eggs. We currently have 2 underway and 1 already hatched. So with this one we're gonna have 4 behemoths on top of the one we already have, which is at 2.3 million fleet power. So I'm thinking about it. The Ornamental Republic, although we are massively strong, we could be even stronger if we took control of the Model 16 Fallen Empire. Now this could be a good test for our behemoth, since the Fallen Empire has a 700,000 fleet power and our behemoth has 2.3 million, much stronger than that. Our behemoth itself should be able to destroy them alone. We are already starting to build our spy network throughout the galaxy, and soon enough we'll start vassalizing other empires, because I want to form a federation. However, I don't think that feeding all of these behemoths will make anyone friendly with us, since they have a negative modifier whenever we crack a world. It's already at minus almost 200 opinion with everyone in the galaxy, and when we get our 10 behemoths, it's gonna be even worse. Oh, they wanna form a federation with us, a Holy Covenant. Now the Holy Covenant isn't the ideal one for our empire. We wanna have the Attack Federation. Oh, that's bad. One of our behemoths has awakened, and he is kinda hungry. So let's send our Harbinger fleet to take care of it. It should be pretty easy, 300k against 100. I just hope it doesn't disrupt our constructor. Well, thankfully it stayed still, so we should be able to take it out. There is so many strike crafts. Yeah. Not even close, baby. Now I'm finding a little hard to keep up of all the consumer goods. I don't know why though. Like, they really seem much less efficient than before. Here we have 30 artisans in the previous patch, and they are only producing 400 consumer goods. So about a rate of 10 consumer goods for every artisan. Before I think we could even stack like 30 consumer goods per artisan. So it's much lower now. And the upkeep for researcher jobs has greatly increased due to the special buildings. Another small guy has waken up, he's hungry. Let's put it to rest a little bit. And what a chaos it's causing, destroying all of our mining stations. Right in our arc furnace. Now we gotta teach you some manners, my dragon. Our stingers will take care of you. Very nice damage. And our stingers are so tanky that it's not even close. We have 34,000 armor for each one. Gate has been taken care. Nah, come on, man. The space dragon awakened and killed our leader. Alright. I don't know why, but cloning, when they die, they somehow level up. Let's jump our stingers to take care of this. It's basically a babysitter fleet at this point. No! Because we didn't join the federation with them, they now formed another federation. Alright. Since we are so close to reaching level 5 on our crisis, we only need a little bit more. We are gonna build some more bioships to have those points. Let's build some titans actually. Yeah, I don't think they have fixed the bug yet. we can have infinite titans. Yeah, I'm not gonna abuse that. We can only have 6 titans, so let's build only 6. Otherwise that would be cheating, I guess. Oh no! One behemoth awakened, and it is in range of the big one. Yeah, the big one's gonna eat it. No! Move away from it. Isn't it scared of a behemoth 10 times its size? A brave little guy, but very stupid. Look at the hyperlane effect, so big. What is this? Like, it almost takes all the star system with it when it jumps. No, now we have a problem. The big one is enraged. Oh man, oh, we are so doomed. 2 million fleet power, how are we gonna take care of it? Retreat, boys, please. Retreat as fast as you can. Let us hope that the behemoth goes to the Fallen Empire colonies, not ours, which I highly doubt, to be honest. But I don't really think we have the military power to take it out. I think it's gonna consume one of our colonies. It already destroyed our starbase. Please don't kill the other behemoth. Go away, little guy. No. Alright, it escaped. Yeah, it escaped. Nice. And apparently it is going towards the Fallen Empire, I guess. Oof. That was close. Yeah, it is completely annihilating the Fallen Empire. Jesus. Oh, we're gonna have the showdown now. Let's see if it takes out the Fallen Empire. What? How does the Fallen Empire has 300k starbases? Oh, that's tough. Our behemoth can't die, man. For real. Like, they have almost 2 million in terms of fleet power here. It's gonna be killed. One of our beasts has fallen. This is what happens to weak creatures. Nature disposes of them. Poor guy. And at the same time, another behemoth went rogue. Quite hard to take care of all of these fellas. Oh, galactic parasites. They aren't even strong enough to take care of our orbital rings. That's fine. Another behemoth for us. We currently have 3 behemoths. We could have had 4 if our other one didn't suicide to the Fallen Empire, but that's okay. I think that they go from agitated to enraged really quickly, because the other guy was just regular, like calm, and out of the sudden it became agitated and instantly became enraged. So it should be a little more predictable when they're gonna, you know, go crazy. But anyways, I think it's time we declare some war of subjugation, because this way we can feed our behemoths and make them grow larger. Yeah, I really think that the best way to go is have a fleet escorting a behemoth. This way, if it goes enraged, we already have the fleet power to take it out. Let us feast on them. Come on, behemoth. Ah, they don't even stand a chance. Well, another behemoth for us. But it has just recently hatched. And here we're gonna eat this habitat, I guess. Can we do this? Alright, we eat, but we just got 5 growth progress. Not very much. Well, 6 titans against a behemoth. Who wins? Oh, it's tough because the titans will never get in good range. That's really bad. I should have sent only titans to deal with it. Ah, boy. The titans surprised, they eventually took down the behemoth. Very nice. So we already have 5 behemoths at this point, and one of them has reached class 2. Now, this is gonna be a problem, man, because how exactly are we gonna kill a behemoth with 700,000 fleet power? I'm still not sure. We definitely have some very strong fleets. However, they are being utilized to take care of the angry behemoths when they are agitated. Perhaps I should actually just move around my 400k fleet and merge it with the Flourishing Bouquet. This way we have a better chance of containing this behemoth, because it's already larger than the star, so yeah. I've created kind of an arena here. I put 1 behemoth in each system, and when they are agitated I just send them in to the Saudar in order to be contained. It's working out very well so far. And we have a shortage of unity. What? Well, that's gonna slow down our progress a little bit, but nothing to be worried. But I think I'm gonna do something insane here. I'm thinking about declaring war on the Fallen Empire and utilizing our defensive fleet combined with our Class 2 Behemoth to take care of them. Now the problem is they have 3 deep state citadels on top of 500k fleet. Perhaps if I could lure them out of there, at least take care of their fleet first, and then destroy their starbases. I think that could work, because we definitely need to feed this guy for him to reach class 3, and after reaching class 3 we upgrade him to class 4. First let's declare war to wipe them out. Let's see what their next move is. Perfect, they sent out their fleet, that's nice. Alright, let's go against their fleet. The Behemoth's so goofy moving around. I wish it had like a more smoother animation. Yeah, we took their starbase out and now just move in to take their home system. There we go, our big guy against their ships. I think this one is much better, since we already took out one of their deep state using our fleet. Alright, our big guy won. Just need to take care of their little escorts, which should be fine, right? Yeah. And another one of our behemoths has grown. We just need to send a fleet to defend there. Otherwise, it will destroy our colonies. And now let's consume some of their planets. It is already agitated, so it's gonna like this robotic pops a lot. It only grew 56? What? They have so many pops, 10,000, and here only 2k, alright. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 behemoths. And there are 2 more growing here. As soon as we get 120 more influence, we should build our 10th behemoth. I just like so much the flavor they did. The behemoths lend a kaiju class titanic beast as an army. So this guy right here is so huge that he actually just drops Godzillas to take care of their planets. It's a cool little detail. Yeah, I'm just wondering how we're gonna feed all of these behemoths though. My goal is to have all of them at level 10. That would be fantastic. Not level 10, class 4 behemoths, sorry. The end of the Model 16 continuity, they have been fed to our class 2 behemoth, but it only got 200 growth, not very much. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kinda hard to control all of these behemoths. Because right now they are waking up at the same time basically, and I don't have that many fleets though. Okay, let's build our 10th behemoth egg now. And within 10 years or so, 15 years I guess, we should have our 10 behemoths ready. And they are becoming agitated so quickly, I don't understand why. Let's declare war. You're gonna be fed to our behemoth. Let's also try and vassalize you at the same time. Oh no, that's bad. We have 2 behemoths that went activated at the same time. No way, man. What is this? Nice, already 300 growth. Let's fall back and grow you. Another behemoth hatched, our 8th, and it already has more fleet power than our regular fleet, so it's getting a little tough to contain them, I'm not gonna lie. Now, who is crazy enough to insult us? The Chosen, a fanatic purifier. Wow, they're on the outside of the galaxy basically. Man, so many space dragons. I feel like I have 10 babies and I need to babysit all of them at once. Another one is going enraged. Soon enough we're gonna have to feed all of them, because there is no way we can maintain all of these guys being enraged all the time. And another one spawned, our 9th. Our final behemoth will be hatched in this place, and we are also growing our class 3 behemoth once again. That should be ready within 270 days. There we have it, our big guy. 2.8 million fleet power, fantastic. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, if this class 3 behemoth becomes enraged, we have zero way of containing it. Now we gained the level 5 of the Crisis, King of the Monsters event chain, and we have some very bad modifiers, plus 25% empire size effect, reduction to our pop growth and resources from job as well. And the Galactic community declares us the crisis. Okay, now things are starting to spice up. And we are not members of the Galactic community anymore. They kicked us. Oh man, you're so gonna regret this. We are at war with everyone? Well, you know what that means. Basically feeding everywhere. And is it a total war? Yeah, it is a total war. Man, we are gonna consume the whole galaxy. They have no idea what they just did. Oh my god. Yeah, we have... our class 4 Behemoth has 6.6 million fleet power. What is this? Man, there is no way any one of them can take care of us. We'll also start building our deep space citadels to provide us with a more defensive position at this point. Man, for real, we could have had Behemoth so quicker. What? I didn't know about this. But after we reach the class 4 Behemoth, we can apparently lay some eggs in gas giants, and that will hatch a class 1 Behemoth right away after 2 years. Only if I knew that before. What? 1000 pops have been transferred. Their minds are now with the Behemoth. So we start losing pops monthly? That's not good. Oh, all of our Behemoths are now pacified. Now that's very interesting. Oof, we don't have to worry about our fleet going rogue again. Nice. Now that was really the only way we could lose if our dragons turn against us. But since that won't be the case anymore, there is no way they win. It even says that the relative navy strength of us against the whole galaxy is at the maximum level of plus 50. And our 10th Behemoth has grown. So yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Behemoths. And one of them already has 7.8 million fleet power. Now the galaxy declared this the crisis, but I don't think they understand what they just did. So because we have 10 Behemoths, these guys wanna feed on everyone else, and thankfully for us, we are at war with basically everyone. So there are a lot of meat potential for them, and they should be satisfied because they are working so hard to maintain our empire strong. We do have our class 4 Behemoth that has almost 8 million fleet power. So yeah, I think this guy alone has more fleet power than the entire galaxy. So I don't even know how they're gonna win this war. Yeah, poor Federation fleet. Just got destroyed. Now the bad part is that we are gonna basically claim all the systems in the galaxy, and that will have our Empire Sprawl, which is already pretty high, at like insane levels. I'm sending one of our small Behemoths to feed on the Dimensional Horror. Let's see if we can eat a black hole. The Horror in the Void. Who's stronger, a class 1 Behemoth or the Eldritch Horror? So far our Behemoth is turbo stomping the Horror. It's not even close. But I think that in lore, the Eldritch Horror is like what we are seeing here is just a finger of something like that. So it's just a small part of it. Alright, easy win.
Spaceport under attack.
Let's have our population on extended shifts and also activate our farming subsidies, because we are losing way too much food, and since we were kicked out from the Galactic community, it means we can only buy from our internal market, which is kinda expensive. Let's eat a planet. Chop chop. Yeah, tasty, isn't it? Our class 4 Behemoth has 4 million armor points. That's kinda ridiculous. Alright, a challenge answered. So it seems that the Void Spawn is coming for us and it is hunting our beloved Behemoth. And right now we have no way of killing it. We need to make our class 4 Behemoth a little bit stronger so it can take the Void Spawn on a one-on-one. So we can run, but we cannot hide. Where is it? There it is, on the function system. Wow, now that's cool. It has its own effects. But it is a lot smaller than our class 4 Behemoth. Not a lot smaller, but definitely smaller than the Behemoth. It's gonna be a tough battle. We have a scientist very close there. Can we activate the cloaking and get close to it? Let's see if our brave scientist can do it. Alright, let's select a mutation for our Behemoth. Our class 4 Behemoth gains Jump Drive, Void Swimmer, wow, what? 300% sublight speed, more tracking, or more cloaking, oh boy. Imagine a cloaked dragon. Nah. What is this? How can we cloak a dragon that is the size of a solar system? But I think the jump drive is better though. Now I think the void spawn is coming for our smaller behemoths, unfortunately. So let's retreat them a little bit. Alright. We could try to launch the gravity snare on the void spawn, but it doesn't work apparently. Now that would be fun. And the Fallen Empire decided to declare war on us as well. I think we gotta retreat our behemoths a little bit more, because they have a 1 million fleet power and also a Titan. I don't recall the Fallen Empires being that strong, to be honest. Alright, now we have another class 2 behemoth that has grown with all these feasting. So hopefully, very soon we should have a fleet comprised of 10 class 3 behemoths, and the galaxy will be consumed. But our only problem right now is the food consumption that is tremendously high. Another mutation for us, our class 4 behemoth gains 250,000 hull points, okay. It gains half of this, but 25% armor hardening, or a little bit of shield and shield hardening. Now, our behemoth does not have a single bit of shields, so I think it would be wise for it to have at least a little bit. Now, in this patch, I really don't know what is giving us all the productivity, because in the previous patch we could look at how much resources our pups were making, but now it's kinda weird. I don't know if you guys are getting the same opinion though. Oh boy, the Fallen Empire surprised one of our behemoths, a 500k against our little guy here. No, we can retreat within 10 days, so we should be fine. Alright, please survive. Alright, it did. Fantastic. Oh, but we caught their fleet retreating. So 2 small behemoths against the Fallen Empire fleet. However, they are, in terms of fleet power that is stronger than us. So let's see if we can do something regarding the growing pains. Now, the digestion increases our situation progress, but greatly reduces our ship fire rate. We could go for fight, at least for now. That would increase our ship fire rate and armor hardening. So let's see our fleet power after we shift. Yeah, it didn't increase that much, but it is an increase after all. Perhaps with this we can stand a better chance at winning this engagement. So we are almost losing one behemoth. Let's retreat it. Alright, it survived the retreat. And now it is only one guy against the Fallen Empire fleet. However, they are doing so much damage through their strike crafts that are pretty stacked up since the fight's taking so long. But they retreated as well. Nice. Another mutation for our beast. We can either have shield penetration, armor penetration, or tracking and point defense fire rate. Now, I think that point defense fire rate and tracking is pretty useless, but since our weapons, like the large weapons at least, they deal most damage against armor and hull, I think it's better for us to have some shield penetration to maximize our output. We also recovered our food production, but all of our other resources are on the negative. And we have finished all traditions, and for our last ascension perk, we'll have the Mastery of Nature. Now the reason for that is I want to expand my districts on the planets. This way we can have more food production. And let's see if it works for the ring world. If I remember correctly, before it didn't. Let's see if it changed now. Nope, it doesn't work as well. Thankfully, because it would be very interesting to see a Mastery of Nature increasing the districts of an artificial planet. And since we are destroying so many planets, we have collected a lot of specimens so far. One empire has been completely consumed by our class 4 behemoth. We basically ate all of their planets. Look at him, how happy he is. Another mutation for us, we can have the gravity pulse, which will suffer 90% sublight speed reduction and -50 evasion for 30 days. Destroy them from afar. That will deal 12k damage to the largest hostile military ship in the system. Yeah, this one is not very good, because it's only a single target, and 12,000, well, let's say that our T-slot weapons already deals 12k. And that is only a class 2 Behemoth. Our class 4 Behemoth has like, what, 5 of these? So yeah, not very good. And we strategically dismember them, deal 60% damage to every ship in the largest hostile military fleet in the system. This one is much better, because I don't think that there is a cap for the damage. So if they just have, what, like one big dragon, let's say a void spawn, and we activate it, it would probably deal 60% of its health right away. Another mutation, we can have 50 damage reduction, which is kinda useless to be honest. 15% armor and shield hardening, or 25% damage reduction. Now this percentage is a lot better, or 15% daily hull regen. This is tough. I think that the damage reduction will be better, because that is basically multiplicative with our already defensive slots. And 15% daily hull regen is kinda good, but most of our defensive slots comes from armor still, so yeah, let's go for the damage reduction. Oh, this behemoth was 1 point away from growing. Okay, now that's not very lucky. Another mutation, then this one seems kinda broken. Hear me out. It repairs 30% hull and armor points for every biological ship in the system. Now considering we are so tanky and we have our damage reduction, we are basically gonna repair everything. And the cooldown is only 180 days, so theoretically this basically makes our behemoth immortal if someone can't deal enough damage. The Fallen Empire has a fleet inside our borders. I think I forgot to defend our L gate and they utilize it to sneakily attack us. Well, they're gonna regret it very soon. Although we don't necessarily have any behemoth in our systems right now, we do have an 800k fleet power sitting around. And the Fallen Empires have awakened. Alright, where are you? Right on the other side of the galaxy. Alright. Our economy is being crushed and I have no idea why. Literally, I have no idea. Like, we had a lot of civilians and I changed the civilians around to improve our job output. Maybe that has to do something with it, but I'm not sure. Oh, I think I know what's causing this. So our class 4 behemoth is basically eating all of our pops from the capital, and it is reducing our worker jobs available there. Now I see. How are they equivalent to us in terms of fleet power? We have a 5 million class 4 behemoth and several other behemoths with almost 1 million. Man, I really think they buffed the Fallen Empires in this patch. What? Look at how many red dots there are in the galaxy right now. It's not easy doing a galaxy-wide war in this patch, at least. Like, things are looking so weird. Especially the economy. I can't make sense of the numbers. One of our beasts has fallen. What? Where? Oh, we lost here defending the Owl Gate. No. Let's send a 1 million behemoth to avenge the little brother. I mean, we really need to finish up this situation because our economy is not handling it at all. Another mutation for us. Ship fire rate, less hull regen. That's not good. And more ship fire rate. I think we're gonna go with the safer option. Let's see if our space dragon can eat the gargantua sphere. Alright, it can. Not eat precisely, but destroy. I think it is not that big. It would choke on the Technosphere. I don't know if it's Technosphere, the name of it, but it's something sphere. Let's start growing another class 3 Behemoth. Right now we only have one class 1 Behemoth, all of them are already at level 2 at least. Oops, another Empire is gone. And we are almost finishing up the growing pain situation, and after that we'll be going against the Void Spawn. Alright, now we have our final perk. Unlocks the Behemoth action Thermoclastic War. Deals devastating damage to all fleets and colonies in the system and costs 25,000 food. Now with this perk we can go against the Void Spawn, which I believe it was here, yeah, right here on the Vernier system. But we gotta reach there before our economy crashes, otherwise there won't be much of an empire left. There it is, our second class 3 Behemoth. We have 2 of these bad boys at this point, and I'm gonna gather all the Behemoths to fight the Void Spawn. Now the Void Spawn is in for a treat, I'm gonna tell you that. Hey buddy, since you are already there, why not eat the Stellarite Devourer that is sitting nearby? It is running away. Smart Stellarite. It stands no chance against our Behemoth. I think the jellyfish is not something that would fill up your belly, let alone the belly of a Behemoth. Look at all the fellas together, just waiting for 2 more of their little brothers to join. There they are. Okay. I think that the class 4 Behemoth is only slightly larger than the class 3. Yeah, just a little bit. And we have all of our Behemoths together to fight the Elder Void Spawn. We unfortunately lost 2 Behemoths along the way. They were weak and couldn't survive the nature of this universe. Now I really don't think the Void Spawn knows what's coming for him. Like, just end Space Dragons. I think we're gonna one-shot this beast. But let's see. The final battle, fellas.
Spaceport under attack.
Alright.
Enemy fleet.
Can we activate the devastating damage? Yeah, let's activate everything. Not even close, man. Everyone is just full HP. Fantastic. Oh, they're just... well, that's weird.
Station under attack.
Get out of him! You're doing nasty things to the Void Spawn. That was not supposed to happen. The Elder Spawn killed one of our Behemoths. No!
Spaceport under attack.
This little fella here died. No. Now we got the Void Slayer modifier that increases our ship fire rate and also the damage reduction. Fantastic. So yeah everyone, I think this concludes our Behemoth playthrough. We have done so much in this playthrough and learned a lot from the new Crisis Path. I want to know your guys' opinion. Did you enjoy this Crisis? Or would you somehow prefer, let's say, the Cosmogenesis or even the Nemesis? Let me know in the comments down below. And for our next playthrough, I'm gonna try to be a little more cautious about our economy because, well, this one wasn't very good. Just look at how many resources we are losing. And who insulted us? I'm not even gonna waste my time speaking to you. Yeah, now the Apex Void form, the last obstacles have been swept aside and the transference is almost over. When it is done, we shall no longer merely exist, we shall thrive. So we'll win the game in 30 days either way, and let's win the game. The Ornament Republic won the game with 66-069 score. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.